Good morning. Welcome, Bachelor of Organizational Leadership students, to our exclusive business dining event today. Today, we delve into the essential art of conducting oneself with grace, confidence, in a professional dining setting. Business dining etiquette is more than just knowing which fork to use. It's about mastering the subtleties of behavior, communication, and presentation to make a lasting impression. In this insightful event, you will learn the nuances of navigating business meals with finesse. Knowing how to conduct yourself during business meals is a vital skill that can significantly impact your professional relationships and career prospects. Get ready to enhance your social skills, boost your confidence, and gain a competitive edge in the business world. Let's embark on the enriching journey together, equipping you with the knowledge and poise needed to excel in any professional dining situation. Welcome and enjoy the experience. Please help me welcome Dr. Marisa Guerrero, Director of the Bachelor of Applied Science and Organizational Leadership Program, who will introduce our special guest.
Well, thank you, Miss Gabby. I do want to say congratulations to all of our students. Y'all are just about ready to graduate. We're putting our final polishing little touches on y'all, but I want to say you look amazing. You look so professional, so confident, and I'm just overwhelmingly proud of all of our students. So give yourselves a big hand. And don't be nervous, it's going to be a lot of fun. I do want to offer a big thank you, and I don't think she's here, so we'll thank her in the other room, but to Miss Christina Valenciano, who helped us in setting up today. Definitely thank Miss Amanda Del Toro for getting everyone rounded up in here. We want to thank Student Life, Mr. Carmelino Castillo, and Mr. Pedro Rivera, who also helped in sponsoring this event. But we want to give a really big welcome and a very big thank you to our very special guest today. So Miss Gina de Mian, I always say
La Millar.
it's okay. It's okay. She is a very distinguished expert in the realm of business dining. Many of you will know her from her very long and very distinguished career at TAMU, where she served in a variety of roles for student success. She's also a business owner and works with her husband and her family in Terrasot Engineering and other family businesses. Her passion for empowering individuals is very evident, not only in the different roles that she serves, but in the fact that she gives back to the community. And we're just so very grateful for her expertise and the time that she's sharing with Laredo College today. I won't take any more time. Without any further ado, I introduce our special guest.
Yes, I have the mic. Thank you, Dr. Guerrero. I'm so excited to be here with you all. It's been 2 years since I presented, so bear with me. I also want to thank all of the Laredo College staff for putting this together because this is very dear to me. I started working at Texas A&M International University back in 1996 as a student employee. And as a student employee, I was able to get a dining etiquette when I was a student. I knew some of it, but having that dining etiquette class was perfect because it just made me more confident when I was invited to go to conferences or to any type of meetings with potential employers. So it is dear to me. That is not what I was going to do. I was not going to work in higher education when I first started my career at TAMU, my bachelor's degree. My parents always owned a business here in Laredo. I started marketing, thinking I'm gonna help them market their business, right? Then right away I went to go get my master's in international trade because my extended family was in the import-export business. So I said, I'm gonna help them there. Well, lo and behold, I started working at the university as a student employee, loved it, loved working with students, and I stayed there for 20 years. 2 years ago, I decided to make a change. I decided to go back and now go back and help my family. But when Dr. Guerrero reached out to me and said, "Will you come do a dining etiquette? I heard that you would do it at TAMU," and I was like, "Yes, of course, I'll go back and do that." So I want to make sure that we do this as interactive as possible. So any questions that come up, because sometimes it's not black or white, right, when we're eating and doing dining etiquette. So if anything is not clear, let me know and we'll go through it. So we're actually going to go through, while you're eating, we're going to go through some dining etiquette steps, okay? So when you all came in, I think they told you all go ahead and take a seat. As you can see, there is a salad and a dessert. Even though the dessert is so tempting, we do not touch anything, okay? Until the host which in this case, the host would be me, will let you all know when to begin. Why? Because there might be a presentation before the actual time to eat. Okay, so in this case, the presentation is going to be the time to eat. So it's a little different, but sometimes when you arrive to a meeting or to a conference, just like this, you're going to have some settings like that. And the only thing that you might be able to grab are your drinks, right? But the host will let you know when you all can start actually with your salad. Okay, I know that everybody wants to grab that fork and grab that cheesecake, but we want to wait until we're told. And actually, until we finish our salad and our main entree, then we get to the dessert. One of the things and I don't see any of them there, but ladies, I know they always tell us not to put our purses on the floor, but unfortunately, there is no items that go on the table. And I don't see any items on the table, which is great. So yes, we do have to put them on the floor, or in this case, these chairs are very good about, you can hang your purse as well. Cell phones, I know that is, we cannot live without our cell phones, but cell phones should not be on the table as well, okay? The only time I tell someone that you might be okay having the cell phone is because someone is at the hospital and you're waiting for a call, but at the end of the day, the cell phones need to be put away. You can leave it on your lap as well, but again, especially if you're having an interview, potential employer, maybe it's not a potential employer right now, but eventually can become a potential employer. You do not want to be on your cell phone while you're having a discussion during dinner, okay? As you all can see the setting, everything's very tight, right? I don't know why people do this. I guess it's to fit in more people in the room. And that's okay, because that's what you're going to see everywhere in all the conferences that you go, or meetings, or weddings, even weddings. Everybody's tight, 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 tight. And so which one's your fork? Which ones are your drinks? Which one's your napkin? Okay, napkins are usually on the side like this one, or sometimes it's in the middle, but usually your napkin is on the left or in the middle. So what we want to do right now is go ahead and grab your napkin. And I know some of you are facing this way, but I'll walk around. So I know I'm facing over there so you can't see me, but go ahead and grab your napkin and place it on your lap. Okay, so that's the first thing that you want to do, and that you can sometimes do beforehand, before the presentation starts. The other thing that might happen for the ladies, sometimes the server will come up to you as you sit down, grab your napkin and place it on your lap, and that's okay too. Okay, I don't see them doing it too much for the gentlemen, but for the ladies, I see them go ahead and do that, and so you just kind of like scoot a little bit back so that they can place their napkins. You don't see that as much anymore, but just in case if you're ever in a situation like that, okay? Now, which one's your drink? Because you have a drink on your right and your drink on your left. And so this is what I do. Very discreetly, right? I put my fingers like this, D, B, right? And I put it here on my lap and I was like, okay, drinks are on the right, right? When you're with those fingers, you make a D. And B is for bread. In this instance, you don't have a bread plate, right? But there could be that at some point in time, there might be something like this with no butter. And this is what we call the bread plate. So when they pass the bread around, you would put your bread roll here. And so B is for bread, D is for drinks, right? And so all your drinks are on the right. So now you know that your water and your iced tea is the one on the right. Now, what happens if you don't like iced tea, right? Because usually in this type of events, that's all you're going to get, water and iced tea. What happens if you don't drink iced tea? Okay, I will suggest that you all start liking iced tea, because that's usually what you get in these instances. If you don't like iced tea, that's okay, you have water, okay? What I've seen adults do is, oh, I'm going to a conference and I know they're going to serve me iced tea and water. Let me go get a soda at the vending machine and bring in my soda can or my soda bottle in with me. That is a no-no. You want a soda, you drink it before the event or you drink it after the event. At this point, you drink what's given to you there. Okay, I know that sounds very harsh, but again, someone's hosting, so you need to make sure that you are making the host feel good, right? And usually what you get is iced tea, and it's not even sweet tea. This one is unsweet tea. So people will be like, oh, unsweet tea. And so I'll show you how to prepare that in a while, but I do want to let you know that. You also might be served something that you don't like, and that's okay to not eat it. But don't be like, oh, the food here is gross. Why are they serving this? If you know you're going to an event that you don't know what they're going to serve, and if you don't know what you're going to like, have some food before the event, or wait to have dinner after. Okay? Also, don't come very, very hungry because you know that they only serve you a certain portion. And so sharing in this type of events doesn't look good. That doesn't mean you can't do it, but it doesn't look good, right? Like I've been hungry and it's like, this chicken is so delicious. Are you gonna eat yours? And you grab, okay, no, right? So we need to make sure that we don't come in an empty stomach, so that way what they're serving is good for us. Okay, so let's start preparing our drinks. If those of you that are gonna have water, you're fine. Those of you that want iced tea, not a problem. I like to prepare my iced tea just with lemon. Some of you all might want to prepare it with sugar. That's fine. So I'm going to ask the person closest to the sugar little container, right? The person that's closest to the sugar, go ahead and reach over to grab the sugar. So in your case, you grabbed yours, you can grab that one. Yes? There's two, right? There's a one or two? Two. So the close. Okay. You're going to offer the sugar to the person on the left, and then she says yes or no, thank you. No, just offer it. Don't give it to them. Don't give it to them. Just offer it. Would you like some sugar? Right? And the person can say yes, thank you, and grab one, or no, thank you. Then you grab yourself a packet if you want one, and then you offer it to the right, and there you do pass it to the person to the right, and then it goes around. Does that make sense? There you go. Then you pass it, you grab it. If you don't want any, you continue. Okay, and then you already offered. So once it goes around the table, the person with the last of it can put it back in the middle of the table. Yes? You got it? Any questions? Remember, I can answer questions. Yes. Yes, if the person that it ended up with cannot reach, they can give it back to the person, or you can just leave it right in front of you, right? You can just leave it right in front of you, and then whenever anybody else wants sugar, they can ask you, what is your name? Nancy, could I have the sugar, please, right? So yes, you don't have to reach over. Make sure that's the other thing. If the sugar ended up at the other end of the table, and then in a little while you want more sugar, don't reach over and grab the sugar. Ask, may I please have the sugar? Right? Like we don't want to we reach the first time because we need to get it. But then after that, we ask for the sugar. Yes? Okay, so if you are preparing your tea, you go ahead and open your sugar. For those that picked up the sugar, if you didn't, that's okay. You don't have to. And what I like to do, y'all don't have a plate. You're just going to leave it at this. If I had a bread plate, like this, I would put it here, like right in the corner, right? But y'all don't have a bread plate, and that's okay. Just leave it kind of like aquí, like under this, tuck it in here, like under the salad, como que no se vea mucho. Because I don't like trash. And then you pour your sugar. I'm not gonna put sugar because I don't do sugar, but go ahead and pour your sugar, right? And then I also would put it right here, tuck it in right here. You see, you can't really see where the sugar is. You can put one or two. It's up to you. And you can grab this. Yes, there's a question over there.
Is there a preference?
No, you could use either or, whatever's more comfortable to you. Okay? You have a spoon. You all see you have a spoon right here? You can go ahead and use it. Usually, there would be another spoon that's for the tea, right? In this case, I don't think we're going to have soup on the menu. So that's why there's no other soup. So soup spoon, a spoon. So you can go ahead and grab the spoon and quietly and daintily mix your iced tea. Not like this, not like this, not like that. Quietly. Okay, some of y'all might want lemon, right? Whoever's closest to the lemon, go ahead and reach over for the lemon. Keep the plate with you. Offer the lemon to the person on the left. Would you like a lemon? So they grab the lemon from the plate, and then you grab one, the one that has the plate, and then offer the whole plate to the person on the right, and it goes around. Yes? We're good? Okay. So, before you all squeeze the lemon, I know some of y'all did, but and I don't know if y'all can see, but I like to cover, right, with my hand so that the lemon doesn't squirt. And I'm going to leave, a lot of people put the lemon inside the iced tea, right? Okay, there's a question over there. The spoon, you could just put it back, or, yeah. Because we don't have a bread plate, but yes. Okay, a lot of you all put the lemon back some of you all put it in the glass. I don't like to do that. You can. I don't like to do that because people cut this lemon, right? They probably washed it and they probably have their hands clean, but just in case, I usually put it right here next to my salad, on top of the plate, right? So I like to lemon, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I think you all are sitting up straight, so that's good. I see good posture, so that's not a problem. But yes, always sit up straight. You use your napkin, right? Because I got lemon on my... We're good, and we mix it, right? Slowly, and then you're ready to have your drinks. Yes? Any questions so far on your drinks? Yeah, you can leave it in the water. You can also put lemon on your water. I also do lemon with water as well. Yes, you can also put lemon in your water. We're good. So you all left the lemon plate back, right? Whoever it got closer. Okay, so now we're going to prepare our salad. Some of you might not like salad. You just don't eat the salad at this point, right? Again, I urge you to start tasting things because this is what really we should be eating. We're so used to eating burgers and pizzas and tacos that are delicious. But we need to start eating a little bit healthier. And believe me, as you get older, when you all are 20, 25, 30, you're good. But wait until you hit 40, 45, and you're really going to want to start eating very nutritious stuff because the stomach does not. But so, and you have some cucumbers, and you have tomatoes, and some croutons. And so you don't have to eat it all. You don't like tomatoes, just move them aside on the plate, and we go from there. But now we need dress. So I know people use the dressing. At this point, they're only offering ranch. Sometimes they offer you two different choices. This point is just ranch. Some people might not want dressing, and that's okay. You might want lemon on your salad, and you can do that as well. Okay? So what we're going to do is go ahead and the person closest, but before you do that, the person closest, don't do it, but the person closest to the dressing goes ahead and grab it, and they're going to offer it to the person on the left. In this case, you will take the plate and pour yourself. I don't see a spoon next to the dressing, so you will pour it, right? But if the plate had a spoon on the side, you serve yourself with the spoon. Okay, so go ahead. Person closest to the dressing. Con todo y plato. Yes, that's right. With all the plate. Yes, the plate, the whole thing. Go ahead and give it to the person on the left. No. The person on the left, pour yourself if you're going to pour dressing. And then give it to the person on the right, back to the person, and then you pour yourself, and then it goes around. Yes, we're good over here? You were left? Yes, it goes back to the right, you pour yourself, and it continues on. Right? In your case, you're going to have to reach over a little bit to grab it from her take it from her because there's no one sitting here. We're good over here?
Is it to the left, to the right?
You grab it, you give it to the left. Wait, did you grab it?
No. They passed it to...
Okay, did you serve yourself? Okay, so go ahead and serve yourself, and you can serve yourself, and then you can just go that way. Yes. Yes. Okay, That's actually good. This helped me. Someone is asking, she needs to use the restroom. How does she excuse herself? You don't say anything, right? Because there might be presenting as you're eating, because they might tell you, go ahead and eat, right? In this case, I'm showing you how to eat, but go ahead and eat. So you just very discreetly, you put your napkin, you stand up very discreetly, right? You put your napkin on top of the chair, and then you just walk out. You really don't have to say any, because they're listening, right? Y'all are listening, so she really doesn't have to say anything at all. Now, ideally, and I know sometimes there's emergencies, if you can go to the restroom before the presentation starts, that would be wonderful, right? Or after. But I know sometimes no se puede, and that's okay. You just discreetly walk out. Okay, we're good with the dressing? Any other questions? Okay. So you pour your dressing, and I see very big pieces of lettuce and cucumbers and tomatoes. So what do? Right? Are you able to cut it? Yes, you may. So you go ahead and grab your dressing, pour it. Okay. And what fork are you all going to use? The one on the far left, because you start from the outside to the inside. So it's this, and usually it's a smaller fork. So you can go ahead and grab your fork and the knife in my case, because you do not want to be doing this. Right? Cut it to where you're able to very, like, eat nicely. And so I'm going to cut it once, twice. Probably I'm going to cut my cucumbers in 4 and maybe my tomatoes in 3s, right? Like, everybody knows how to hold. So I don't know if the camera is showing, but you pretty much have your fork and your knife flat on your hands and just turn it over. And if you could see your index fingers kind of holding, and you cut. Because I know people, we have tendencies when we're little and we cut, we hold it like this or hold it like this. Ideally is you place it flat on your hands and you turn it over, and your index fingers, clutch it with the rest of your fingers, and your index fingers up here. We're good? Okay. I put my knife right here on the edge of the table, on the plate. Can you all see it? And then I flip change the fork to my right hand. And you see how I'm holding the fork, and you can go ahead and grab a piece of lettuce and cucumber. If those of you wanted to put lemon, just go ahead and ask for the lemon and they can put lemon. And I still think it's a little too big for me, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. And you go ahead and take it to your mouth, and you can go ahead and start eating. Eat as much as you want or as little as you want. If you're not eating at all, kind of like make it seem like if you're eating so the host doesn't feel bad. But you do not have to eat it. We're good? You can lean a little over. Yes, let me, that's a good question. Can we lean over? Yes, of course, because, not completely over, but you need to lean a little bit because you don't want to get dirty, right? And so, sitting down, and don't eat like this, right? Look at my posture, like you're not going to be doing this. You're still standing up straight, but you can lean forward so that if anything falls, it falls on the plate. Okay? Now, you're probably saying, Gina, really we have to eat like this all the time? I'm not asking you to eat like this all the time, but the more you practice it, the more it's going to become natural. Anybody want salt and pepper for your salad? Okay, if anybody does, you do not reach for the salt and pepper. You ask the person closest to the salt and pepper if they could please pass the salt or please pass the pepper. Now, the salt and pepper are married. Okay? So even if they just ask for you for the salt, okay, so if I ask you, may I have the salt? Because you're closest, you want to grab both, the salt and the pepper. And you're probably going to have to stand up a little bit, yes. You're going to grab both, and you're going to pass it to him to pass it over. Now, you can pass it by hand, but I don't know if people here are superstitious. Some people say, no, no pasa la sal, right? You can place the salt and pepper in each of the table until it gets to the person that needs it, right? You can't do that, but they're married. Even if I ask for the pepper, you need to grab both shakers and pass them to them, right? So you can give them in their hand or you can place them on the table. I place them on the table because I don't know how superstitious people are. I'm not superstitious, but I know other people are, so I try to respect that. So you enjoy your salad. When you go out to, let's say I'm a potential employer and I invite you to Buffalo Wild Wings. For some reason, I decide to invite you to Buffalo Wild Wings. Okay? Be smart. I know that's what they're known for. Don't order the wings. Even if your employer orders the wings, don't order the wings. Not in front of your employer. It's messy. They're delicious, but it's messy. You're gonna have sauce all over your mouth. Just don't do it. Order burger, order pasta, order something else. I read one time that it was the last part of a job interview, and so people ordered, and it was the last two potential candidates, and one of them got their entree, put salt on the chicken. The other one didn't. The other one tasted, then put salt, and the employer hired the one that tasted the chicken first because the other person might be too impulsive, right? Like they didn't even try the ground and they were already. So yeah, it could be a test, but I don't think they'll ever take you to a Buffalo Wild Wings to see if you really order the buffaloes or not. I don't think it's just don't do it because don't order like spaghetti. It's very hard to eat spaghetti. Order like the bow tie pasta, right? Like a pasta that's easier to eat. Like you don't want to do fettuccine. Again, when you're someone that you don't know well enough. If you're with family, I mean, I go to Olive Garden and I eat spaghetti. I mean, eso me van a ver bien. You're gonna see me eat spaghetti, but it depends who I'm with. Don't order peas, because peas, like chicharos, it's very hard to grab with your fork. So when you go out to eat, try to order something that's easy to maneuver. In other settings, you might have two knives, right, that you'll use for your entree. In this case, we don't. This is the way I place my knife, because I know that the entree is coming, so we don't want them to take away our knife. And my fork, I place it on top. I use it's like if it's a clock. Look at your plate like if it was a clock, and you would put your fork at a 10:20. Like if it was in the clock, it was 10:20, right? And so there, the servers know that you're done because your utensils are on top of your desk. The other thing I wanted to tell you, and I'll get to the questions right now, but the other thing I wanted to tell you, when you're resting, because you know how sometimes you take a bite and you rest, don't do this. This is what I call the rowboat. You see that? Like like if you had oars, you don't have space for that. You put your knife here, and you could just leave this also on the side, like if you're resting because you're having, like you're chewing, you finish chewing and you're having a conversation and then you grab your fork again. Or you can always like hold your fork and have the conversation like that. But don't do this. Don't do this. Like the utensils don't go out. We want to have them like this, like on the side, like if you're waiting and talking. Okay? Remember not to speak with your mouth full, right? There's going to be a time where you take the bite and they ask you the question, you're like, don't answer, just say, you could do this, and you finish eating, and then you answer the question. And what happens if a piece of lettuce falls off of your plate? Again, if we had a bread plate, I would probably grab it and put it there. In this case, I would probably put it right like under, like, let me grab, like let's say this crouton fell, I would put it like right on top of the sweet and low packet on the side. Now that I know they're gonna come pick up my salad, right, I would go ahead and you can, I know they already picked some, but you can put the trash on top. So that way they take away the trash. Yeah, so yes, since you know they're gonna pick up your salad and you're done, you can put the lemon and the little sweet and low on top as well. What if food falls on the floor or your utensil falls on the floor? What do you do there? What if your fork falls and there's no other fork? What happens? What do? You leave it on the floor. You leave it on the floor. you raise your hand and look for the server and request another fork. The same thing, your napkin fell on the floor. You leave it on the floor. The server should come eventually at some point and grab it. Now, if your fork is in the middle of a place where someone might trip, you kind of just like discreetly move it over to a little corner. And the server will then pick it up at the end or whenever possible when they're not serving. You do not move, you do not give the plate to the server, you just move to the side, like kind of move, not like completely, but you give them a chance to get through and get in the plate. You do not do this. Oh, I'm done. And move it to the back, to the center of the table. You do not do that. You leave your plate where it is with the fork on top. They're picking up the salad. They're going to bring either the bread plate, the bread basket, and they're going to put it in the middle. You leave it there. They're probably going to start bringing the main entree. No one touches it because we need to make sure everybody's served from the table to start eating, right? Now, we don't have to, if this table, all of you all have the main entree and everybody else doesn't, that's okay, you can start eating, right? But if for some reason the server only brings enough and one is left without a plate, you do not touch your entree. We want to wait for everybody to have a plate to start eating. So, obviously, if she has something in her teeth, well, you're not going to yell it. Hey, right? Hopefully you all know each other and you're like, hey, can you tell? Right? Y que le llegue like, or yes, or like if you do eye contact, you're like you could do that. Yes. Now, how do you take it off? If you can grab your napkin and cover it and do that, or very discreetly, without saying anything, just walk out, go to the restroom. If you make eye contact, it's better to do that. That is correct. Yes. If it's something where if it's not very visible, as long as you make eye contact, it's very embarrassing, right? Because how many times have you seen someone walk with the tag out or something out and you're like, le digo, no le digo, right? Is she going to be embarrassed? But I would rather you tell me that 100 people should, yes, that all day I'm like that. So even though you don't know each other, you do want to tell her, porque, qué pena, right, at the end of the day. So yes, for sure. While the presentation's going on, go ahead and eat. So in that case, you don't need to wait for the host to say again once the entree's there. As soon as everybody has their entree, you can eat, right? Sometimes I've gone there to where there's always a little agenda sometimes in the presentations, and you could see invocation, presentation of trophies, presentation by whoever, dinner. So then you do not start with the salad or the entree because there's 3 things going on before dinner, right? There might be another one where you sit, the agenda says dinner and then the presentations, and usually the host informally, because they haven't started, go ahead everybody, start with your dinner.
Ms. Gita, would you recommend, so if you're at a table with your employer, your supervisor, your professor, you kind of wait. I don't know if this is just a wait for them to kind of be give you the nod, y'all start, or?
Someone needs to say buen provecho, right? Or in English, how would you say buen provecho? Enjoy. Someone needs to say it, and usually it's the professor or the host or someone they know. Here, because we're all equal, it's once the last plate is set, someone can say enjoy and you start.
And be ready because the person who's a leader at the table might be you. So when you have everybody just staring or everybody waiting, just kind of be like, y'all enjoy, get it started.
But it's usually the host knows and they're like, go ahead. They might say go ahead because really the servers, once they know who the host is, I'll probably be if I'm the host, I'll be the last one to be served. But if I'm sitting on your table and they're still waiting to, I don't have a plate, then I would say, go ahead before it gets cold. And then you usually say, no, we'll wait for you. And then I'm going to say, no, go ahead. And that's when the second time I say go ahead, then you want to go ahead and start, right? Because they will say no, we'll wait for you. And I'll be, no. As a host, I should know to say, no, go ahead and start. See, here, you all can't start. And unfortunately, it's going to be a little cold, right? But you're not supposed to touch it because nobody else has their food here. So here in this case, we have the bread on the plate. So there's no bread basket to pass around. But if there was a bread basket, the person closest to the basket will grab, offer to the left, You grab yourself and then pass it on to the right, right? So here's my chicken. There's mashed potatoes and the veggies. This is a great plate. There's nothing hard about eating this plate, so it's perfect. So I grab my knife, right, that I usually put here. I don't know what, okay, this is my dessert, right? And I grab my knife and I grab my other fork that's there. And again, you hold them like this and you turn. And you're not gonna cut all the chicken straight through. Okay, you know how we're so used to that our parents, when they're little, nos cortaban todo? That's not the way it is. You're gonna go ahead and cut. You're gonna use your fork to help you cut the chicken. And there's two ways of bringing the food to your mouth. You can still hold your utensils like that and bring the chicken to your mouth like this, or you can place the fork down on the plate and switch the fork to your right and do this. Either or is acceptable. Okay? Can you grab a chicken and a piece of veggies and bring it to your mouth? You can, as long as it's not super big, because you don't want to be doing this and then like having to chew. No, remember to chew with your mouth closed. So that's why I'm telling you to put the right amount of piece of food in your mouth, because I don't want you to have to open your mouth and chew loudly. I don't want to hear any chewing. Now your bread. Remember, I'm resting my utensils, and look how I'm resting my utensils. Right? I didn't do the rowboat, because I'm going to talk to you about something else. I'm resting my utensils like this. Remember, if anybody wants the salt or pepper, you can ask for the salt or pepper. The bread, never take a bite of the bread. You grab a little piece, enough that fits in your mouth. You take it to your mouth. Okay? Let me see where the butter is. In the middle. Okay, so if someone wants, sometimes you don't need to wait for someone to ask for the butter. The one closest to the butter, grab the butter, offer to the left, grab yourself one, pass it to the right. No, you could say no thank you and just keep on passing it. Right? In this case, the butter is individually packed. So you just go ahead and grab one. But sometimes the butter, there's going to be pieces of butter on the plate, right? Like unpackaged. You want to go ahead, when that happens, you want to go ahead and either grab half of the piece or the whole piece and transfer it to your plate, and then you butter your bread. You can grab mashed potato and chicken, but don't make it to where like it's like full of your fork and then you're stuffing it into your mouth. Just, you know. What I don't want you to do is cut all the chicken. Like you have to cut and eat. Cut and eat. I don't want you to cut and then eat. It's cut and eat. And you can eat your veggies. And there's no, in this case, there's no, and I don't think in any other case, you can start with your mashed potatoes, or you can start with your veggies, or you can do chicken, or you can mix them, or you could do it. After 20 years or 10 years of working with an employer, we go out to eat. And we know we're going to a burger place, I'll order the burger, right? But if it's the first time and I'm getting to know them, I'll probably order something that I can, even the appetizers, don't order the buffalo wings, right? Order, like, maybe not even cheese sticks, porque luego te ahogas ahí with, like, something that you can, like, you know, because you're talking and you're nervous, and so the least things that can get you in trouble, the better, right? Oh, so you take a bite of the chicken and you feel a little bone or a little something. What do you do? What do you do? Put in your napkin. I have an answer. What else? No, they're right. What you're going to do there very discreetly again, you are going to have to use this because this is all you have. You're going to go like this, like if you're wiping, right? They're not going to know. And you just kind of leave you kind of grab it and try to call over the server and say, ¿Le puedo dar esto? And can I give you this? And can I have another napkin? In this case, you would ask for another napkin. So you're talking and someone asks you for the butter and you reach over and you spill your drink. What do you do? Oh my goodness, what do? Our first reaction is you spit, you're like, ah! Right? Just like, oh, I'm sorry. Hopefully the server sees you. They come and help you clean. I mean, don't go, oh my gosh, and you touch the other person. Let the other person, like, also, if they'll probably bring napkins or so forth, and they'll serve you again, and you keep on going. Right? Things happen. We're not perfect. We know that. Your employer knows that. Try to be as careful as possible. You know, when you're reaching over, I saw a gentleman here was reaching over. He moved the iced tea and he reached over. You could do that. If you're done eating, again, you do the 10-20. Like if you were looking at a clock, you do the 10-20 and the server will know that you're done. What happens if you see a hair in your food? That's a good question. And I know that is like, no one wants to go through that, but it happens. You call the server and you say, there was something in my plate. If you want another one, because some people just get grossed out and doesn't want anything, you ask for another one. If you don't want another one, just say, can you go ahead and take it, and we stay without eating at this point. But yes, you can let them know discreetly. You don't tell the whole table, oh my God, there's a hair on my chicken. No, you don't even tell the person next to you, just call the server. My plate had something, do you mind taking it and bring me another one? That's it, right? I've seen the X, but I do the 10-20. I don't like the way the X, you can, there's different ways. Like I said, some of my stuff is not black or white, so they have other ways. The American dining etiquette, the European dining etiquette. I like the 10-20 because, let me tell you why. Because when the server comes in, they're gonna pick it up like this, and they can hold on to the utensils, and they won't fall off. That's why I like it, to make it easier for them. Now, if you're done, don't move your plate to the middle of the table, just leave it there. The servers at some point will be looking and will be picking up. If you're done and they pick up the plate, you can move your dessert to the center, but you cannot start eating the dessert until everybody's done with the main entree. Yes? I mean, can you? Yes, you're not supposed to, because you can do whatever you want, but it's not proper. It's not, we want to wait for, because people are still eating their entree, and so if you start with their dessert, then you're going to make the other ones want to eat. Now, the other thing I think that we do is, because sometimes we're so in a hurry and we only have 30 minutes for lunch. I think when we're in high school, we only had 30 minutes for lunch. So we have that thing that we have 30 minutes for lunch. We don't have 30 minutes. We're here till 12:30. So we still have like 20 minutes here. So enjoy your lunch. I get it. Once you're working full time, you're like, oh my God, I don't have time I need to eat. I've done it before. But enjoy your lunch. Take your time, mingle, talk. If you want more water, you kind of like try to make eye contact, raise your hand. When they come here, they're like, can I please have more water? Yes, you can ask for a refill and iced tea. Servers should be looking at your table and serve you as they see that you need some, but you can certainly ask for some. Now, don't do this, because I personally, I'm not a server, but I hate to do this to a server. When they're serving the main entree, ma'am, can I have more water? Pues, aren't you all seeing that they're busy bringing the entree? Like, let's use common sense here, right? If they're busy bringing the entrees and they're the only two servers, and you know that they're only two servers, let them finish bringing all the entrees and then ask for something to drink, right? Now, there's gonna be some places where you're gonna have servers that are serving the entrees and servers that are just serving drinks. If you see that they have two teams, then by all means ask them for water, right? But if they're busy, don't, or you know what I told them? When you have a chance, can you bring me more water? They're close to me. There you can say. But don't be expecting them to stop what they're doing because they're serving the entree and everybody needs to get their plates to serve you the drinks. Just be very conscious of that, right? I mean, I know they're servers, but we need to be polite. Oh, remember your napkin? I put it on my table, but your napkin never goes on the table. Not even when you stand up to go. If you're not done eating, your napkin does not go on the table, right? Because once you put the napkin on the table, that means you're done, and that's usually when you're walking out. Don't give the plate to the server, because the server already knows how to pick it up, and you might unbalance the person with it. So don't. I know sometimes I do that. My husband always gets mad because I try to pile up when we're at a restaurant, pile out the restaurants, because just for easy for them, but they're like, she's like, don't do it because they already know how to grab them and so forth. So sometimes we unbalance the server. Oh, what happens if you start choking? Okay, if it's a real, like, if it's a choking, like where the water goes down the wrong pipe, and if they're presenting, and if you're close to a door, like I would like discreetly in a hurry walk out and finish coughing over there. If you're choking with real food, well, I hope someone in the room knows Heimlich maneuver, ni modo, pues ahí, I mean, that changes things, right? I mean, the presenter's probably gonna stop, they'll help you and so forth. But like, si se te atora, like, sometimes it just goes down the wrong way. If you can just like, you can cough, I mean, it is what it is, but try to move away so that the presentation can continue going. That's a good question.
So to add to his question is that if in choking, well, I mean, you can choke because somebody says something funny, you might be consuming some liquid, eating some food, and you start choking. Well, most common thing is one is to encourage the person to continue to cough, but we're in a business meeting. So if I allow, or if the person walks out and he's choking, then I have two problems.
Right.
One choking, when you just collapse, and nobody knows that he collapsed the whole way.
Well, I'm hoping like you're at a hotel and people see you, or maybe someone else can walk with you. Now, I can tell you this because my brother-in-law is a doctor. He tells me if you're coughing, you're not choking. If you can hear someone make, they're not choking. Usually when someone's really choking, that something is obstructing, they're like this and they can't speak at all. And so that's different. Someone probably wants to walk out behind that person, right? Like hopefully that person goes like, yes, But if you're coughing, it's gonna be rare that you actually have something obstructing in there because that means there's still a little bit of airway. But yes, if you know him, you can follow him to the front. They picked up all your entrees. You can move your dessert over. Which is the dessert fork or spoon? The one that's right here. The one that is right here. So you can. I'm gonna move my plate right now because I haven't picked it up. But and your dessert, you go ahead once everybody, and you go ahead and eat your dessert and enjoy your dessert. Yes, of course. You want to do that. Claro que sí. Let me look over my notes to see if I made sure and talked about everything. Oh, double dipping. When we have sauces, what do we do? So let's say we had chips and salsa in the middle of the table. What do we do there? Like before the salad. Let's say there was no salad on there. What do? We have chips and salsa in the middle of the table. Usually in these settings, you're not going to have chips and salsa in the middle of the table, but let's say we did. Yes.
So you would pour some in your plate.
Yes. If they have chips and salsa, they should have some appetizer plates. And so you would grab some chips. Hopefully they have little pincitas, but if they don't, you're going to use your hand. And there should be a spoon with the salsa, and you put salsa on the appetizer plate, and then you eat the chips and the salsa from your plate. We need to train them not to double dip. I would probably, hopefully you can catch them before they double dip, and I probably would call them out. I mean, nicely, but say, hey, can we all serve ourselves so that we don't double dip? I mean, because now you're talking about, right? I would then probably maybe call the server and ask for another salsa. Yeah, that could be another. Do you have what? To tell them not to double dip? Yeah, that's why maybe you can ask the server for another one and then kind of say, we all want to serve ourselves, but it is dangerous. The other thing that you might do is at the end of the day, you might not have salsa then. If someone already double dipped, they want that, right? At the end of the day, you can go have salsa somewhere else. Can you do that with your family? You all can do whatever you want in your family. But again, the more you practice it, the more it comes natural. So I would suggest you practice it to where you don't double dip, even though you're at the Olive Garden or eating mozzarella sticks. I mean, we tend to do that. But it's like, oh, shoot, I shouldn't be doing that, right? Serve yourself on the plate and then eat from your plate. So again, the more you practice it, the better. Hi, how are you? Soup. What about soups? If you get served soups, you know how we always eat? They've always shown us to eat our soups. Like, how do you all eat your soups like this, right? It should be like this. It's hard. That one, it takes me a while, but it should be like, if it's a cream, right? Like if it's vegetables, like if it has pieces, you can eat it like that. But if it's a cream, it's out and then in. Out and then in. It's hard. That one has been hard on me to even do it like outside of conferences. But it's okay if you do this. No pasa nada. What you're not supposed to do is go, because it's super hot, right? Like you let it, I mean, you can, not even that much, just kind of get the side and just kind of leave it like that, and then you take it in. Yes? No, 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 no. If it's a liquid, can they go like this? No. Lo que sobró, no. That is a for sure no. The good one, no. You use a spoon, and whatever you can't get, you can't get. At home, you can do whatever you want, but not in public. I think as you're finishing your dessert, no slurping. No slurping either. As you're finishing your dessert, I know that your next event you're gonna have, and you just ate, right? So really, really, can you have some food? Of course. But if you're gonna be speaking to potential employers, you probably wanna leave that till the end, right? So don't rush in there and grab a plate and grab food. I know some of y'all didn't eat because y'all might have not liked the food. That's okay. But can you have something? Yes. But just make sure that you don't have your mouth full when you're going to talk to someone. Now, my understanding that this event first is to network. So let's do that first. Once you network, can you grab a plate and you grab your little hors d'oeuvres and maybe go up to the side and eat, then put it down and continue networking. Yes, can you be networking with your plate? Yes, there's nothing wrong with that. I just feel more comfortable not having the plate in front of me. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but people that are in the public face, they usually don't eat in public. Senator Safraini does not eat in public. Ever. You're never going to see her eat in public. Because she might have something on her teeth, someone might want to talk to her and she's going to have food in her mouth. And I'm not saying that you don't have to do that. I'm just letting you know that it's best that not to do. I don't know if you all saw it. I didn't take a bite of my food. Why? Because I was presenting. Not because I'm a public figure, it's just that I'm presenting. So it's like, oh, hold on, I'm eating, right? So there's just times and a place for eating. I'm not saying you can't eat because that's there for you all. Just make sure you do your networking first before you go to the table, right? I know people love to go places where there's food, and I do too. But again, let's do business, and then we enjoy ourselves. Can you eat in public? By all means. She just decided not to, or she's very careful. Like there's some people that do eat, but it's very careful what they eat, right? Because then you might have to go to the restroom after, you know what I mean? So that's something that you just need to decide what you want to do. When I was a student, if I was going to present that day, I did not eat until after my presentation, right? Because I would get nervous and I didn't want to have stomach issues. And some people do need to eat because if not, then you're going to feel sick and faint. So you know yourself. You decide what's good for you, right? Of course, now I've been presenting for a while, even though I haven't done it for 2 years, but so I eat now because, I'm comfortable with it. But, that's something that you need to decide what you want to do as well. Oh, how do you grab your drink? You could just, I know like for wine, like the stem, but this one you could just grab, drink. There's no, this one, like this. Drink. Just as long as you feel comfortable holding it so it doesn't spill. These are big cups actually. Usually, but yes, like just make sure that you grab it. You can, if you need to use both hands, but I can also so that it won't spill, you can go ahead and do that as well. That's not a problem. It was. I hope you all learned something from this that you can take with you, share with your family, share with your kids, with your parents. They're going to tell you that's not the way. Why are you being like that? But I'm telling you, this is People are going to start looking at, you're all going to have careers. I want to make sure that they say this person graduated from Laredo College, bright, smart, knows how to eat, knows etiquette. We want to hear that in the community. So take it out there and practice it. Practice it, practice it. Like, oh, what did Gina say? What did Gina say? And I know they're going to work on a little pamphlet and so forth, so to give to you all too. But if not, now everything's in your hands. Google and do dining etiquette. Some of the things, like I said, they're not black and white. You're gonna have different types of etiquettes, but look in there. It's fun. And like I said, I enjoyed it when I was a student, and it stayed with me forever and ever. So I hope this helped you do that and keep on enjoying. But yes, and the networking, if you have a drink, do have the drink on your left because you want to leave. That's good. You want to leave your right hand. But while you're eating here, you could go like this, because at the end of the day, if I come in to say hi to you, I really, once you're eating, like right now, before you, well, let's say we hadn't started eating, I would probably come in and shake your hand. But if I would come in while you were already on your salad or your main entree, it's like, hi, how are you? Go ahead and continue eating, right? I shouldn't be shaking your hands because I know that you all are eating, but there might be, but no, you can use, when you're here, you can use either or. Mm-hmm. Thank you all so much. I was glad.
Yes,
we're
we're very,
here.
very thankful for your time here today, Ms. Gina. Please accept this token of our appreciation for your training here today.
Thank you. Thank you for
We're
having
helping
me.
us put the final polish on our students, and we'll welcome you back anytime.
Perfect. Thank you. Glad to be here. Thank you all. It was very nice meeting you all.